Okay, guys, so continuing on with last week where I went over my top five trading books, this week we're going to go over my top five trading psychology books, or really psychology in general. Mostly focused on trading because that's what we talk about in this channel, but you could use these for anything. If you missed the top five trading books, link's going to be in a thing that pops up around here or in the description below. And everything, my website, my email, everything is always in the description below, so check that out. And if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. The YouTube algorithm likes it. YouTube keeps yelling at me to ask you guys, so there we go. And let's just grab right into it. So I think psychology, when it comes to trading, is the most important aspect by a country mile. I think it's huge when it comes to trading. The traders that I talk to that are struggling, that are having issues as traders, are always in the category of two things. I don't have a trading plan, or I have a trading plan, I don't follow it. So that whole second thing gets alleviated with the right mindset when you come in every day to place your trades. And all of the books we talk about are going to focus on that type of area. So the first one here is The Power of Habit by Charles. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. So basically, this is about the power of habit, the power of routines, the power about how doing small amounts of work towards a goal each and every day compounds over a very long period of time. What we're going to talk about in part 3 when I go over my productivity books is that trading actually is a lot of work, even for somebody who's been doing it a length of time. You have to record your trades, you have to journal your trades, you have to have a routine, you have to have a habit of scanning for things at a certain time, building your list or running back tests, or however it is you trade. The more you can kind of systematize this process, the better in the long run and the easier everything will be. So this is a great book to get you started with that. Next one, and this one I think is, this one changed my trading forever. And it's Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel and Kahneman. I think it's two people. Don't quote me on that. But essentially, the concept of this book is that people think in different ways. And some people are what they classified as fast thinkers. And these are the people who can come up with information, disseminate it, and make a decision on the fly. And then there's slow thinkers, and these are the people who are more systematic and controlled in their thinking. So a fast thinker, in video game terms, being a nerd myself, would be the guy who plays like a Call of Duty, right? Who's, there's everything going on all the time. They need to pay attention to where all the other players are, and lots of different data points at once, and then make decisions imperfectly but quickly. Whereas a slow thinker would be like your chess player or your poker player or something like that, where they have all of the time in the world, but their brain needs more information to make decisions, right? They're the more analytical, the overthinkers, this type of thing. The reason why I think this is so important for trading is that different traders will fall into different buckets and should trade, in my opinion, different styles depending on which they are. If you're a fast thinker, then you may be the guy with a level 2 open and a 1 minute chart, and you're scalping off levels and you're doing things like that. Not to say if you're a slow thinker you can't, and vice versa, but you're going to be drawn more towards that thing that gives you the fast reinforcement, the ability to process that information and make decisions quickly. Whereas a slow thinker should be somebody who is more of an automated trader. It should be someone who's maybe a swing trader or a long-term position trader, because you're able to then disseminate larger amounts of information and parse them out a little bit better. So personally, when I read this book, I was trying to trade entirely as a fast thinker would, and having some success doing it. But when I stopped fighting that and I started to trade as a slow thinker would, which is more the type of my brain and how my brain works, my performance went through the roof, right? When I stopped trying to emulate what other people were doing and started to kind of trade my own way and to, follow the trading that made sense for me and the trading that made sense for the way my brain operated, things became way easier. So Again, this is just the way to kind of interpret how some people think and try to figure out where you slot into. And it may change the way you look at trading entirely when you know that these two different mindsets. So number 3, I have the psychology of trading, but actually anything with Brett Steenbarger's name on it for trading psychology is perfect. This gentleman, and I've met him a few times, and he's just as nice as in person as anything you've seen him on. He has spent his entire career talking to traders and mentoring traders when it comes to pure psychological aspects. He's been hired by prop firms and hedge funds to go in and make sure their traders have the right mindset when they come into work every day, that they're doing the right things to cultivate that mindset. So everything he writes is pure gold. You know, the psychology of trading is his first one. I actually have it back there, and he's signed. It helped me out a lot when I was struggling as a trader, because for me, as for most people, my issues were how I approached the market, how I thought about the market. So again, anything he's done, I read, and anything he's done, I suggest you guys read, because it's very, very focused on this. What's your mindset for your goal to be a profitable trader? All right, so 4 is Mindset by Carol Dweck. And this one's a very interesting one because it talks about basically the concept of it is is something innate within you when it comes to education or when it comes to skill or anything like that? Or is it something that can be built? And she talks about 2 different mindsets. And one is the fixed mindset, which is to say, I'm not good at math, therefore I'm not going to do math. That's a fixed mindset individual. And a growth mindset individual would say, I currently struggle with math, but I understand that if I work on it, that there's no reason why I can't be good in the way that someone else is. So it shows clear examples of why, if you're a fixed mindset person, you're just wrong, and you can grow these things. Also, it gives you steps on to how to grow that mindset, how to now that she's convinced you that a growth mindset is possible and you can learn new things and you can build new skills, it gives you a pretty good path to get there as well. And last but not least, has nothing to do with trading. It's You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. The dude's just a badass. He's just an absolute badass. And this is the furthest book from trading that is on this list. But, that being said, I think it's very important because it's about somebody becoming the best version and the most badass version of themselves against all odds. The guy talks about his history and his, all of this. And against all odds, the guy became an absolute monster. It's a great follow on Twitter and YouTube and all of that as well. So that is one that I suggest that you listen to in audiobook form, because it's voiced by someone else, but it's kind of done in a podcast style where he interjects every chapter and they talk about the chapter that they just read. Just a great book. If you're feeling kind of down and out and you want a motivation to push yourself to do something that you can't do, or that you haven't done, you're at a wall and you're trying to break that wall, inspirational guy, inspirational story. And again, not related to trading, but all psychology, in my opinion, is related to trading. So that's part 2. I hope you guys like that, and that's what we're going to look at for this one. So in part 3, we're going to talk about productivity and books that I use for productivity and systems that I use for productivity, both during the trading day and then after the trading day is done. One of those things that if you can do the same amount of work in a shorter period of time, it's just better, period. Right? So why wouldn't you study that as part of your trading career? Most people are, they're just all focused on the charts, but if you learn how to review your trades faster, or scan for your trades faster, or do anything more efficiently, that's going to help in the long run with everything else. So that was it for this video. Thanks guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.